Hello and welcome back to your mat. Today we're going to do a short practice to help us shake things off. So this is kind of a part two. The first class I did seemed to resonate with you guys, and it seemed like you needed that. So I thought let's do another one because I think we all have things we need to shake off and just let go of. So before we start today's class, no props are needed, and just bring yourself in your mat, and we'll start with a quote, and then we're going to set an intention before we actually start moving. So this quote is by Rory Friedman. No kidding aside, if everyone did yoga, we would have world peace. I tend to agree with that statement. So we're going to start. We're going to start either cross-legged or you can sit on your heels. I'm going to sit on my heels, but it doesn't matter, whatever works best for you. And before we get started, I want you to set an intention for today's class. So I want you to think about what it is that you need to shake off this time around. What is it that's getting under your skin? What is bothering you? What is stressing you? What tension? What else could, let me make sure I didn't leave anything out here. Stagnant energy, frustration, any other emotion that you may have. What do you just need to shake off and just let go of? Now again, this is not some magic pill that's going to get rid of all of your worries and troubles and all of your frustrations. This is not going to bring world peace or solve all the issues of the world. But for a brief amount of time, hopefully it will help you just release some of that. So I want you to set an intention here. Close your eyes and really think about this. What is your intention for today's class? What do you need to shake off? All right. So, and if you haven't come up with something, think throughout the class, or just go with the class and see what you're able to release throughout the class. We're going to just start with some simple movements. And so on our inhales, we're going to inhale, and then we're going to do an exhale out through our mouth. So normally we inhale through our nose and exhale through our nose. This time we're going to inhale through our nose and exhale through your mouth. And you can really get a big sigh there if you want, whatever you want to do. But you're going to inhale, your arms up, rise up overhead, and exhale and twist to the right. So, and this doesn't have to look a certain way. My left hand just came out of my right knee. Inhale and exhale with a sigh as you twist, okay? So we're just going to do that on one side for a minute, and then we'll go to the other side. So inhale, exhale. And you can make that exhale as loud as you want. That is a great way to release whatever you need to release. I'm also kind of going faster here, really getting some movements there. You could go slower if you like, but really just a matter of moving that you're kind of letting go, kind of just throwing whatever it is kind of behind you. Let's do a few more rounds. To the right side. We're only going to one side right now, and we'll go to the other side. Two more. And then come back to center. Stay there for a moment. Remember your intention. What are you trying to shake off and release? Now let's go to the other side. So now you know what we're doing. Inhaling and a nice forceful exhale as you twist to the left. And again, maybe imagine whatever you're trying to release, just throwing it behind you. Just toss it, at least for now. So let's go. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release behind you and twist. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist. A few more rounds that way, to the left. And I'm really visualizing that left hand is just tossing away whatever I need to release. Let's go two more. Come back to center, and let's pause for just a moment. Again, reflecting on that, what we're wanting to get rid of. Now, before we move on to cat and cow and some supported side planks, some movements there, we're going to do what's called lion's breath. And if anyone's watching you do this class, they're going to wonder what you're doing. And let that go and don't worry what people think. It's called lion's breath. So we're going to inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to stick out your tongue and exhale out. So don't worry about how silly it looks, but this is a great way just to release any tension, any stress, any frustration. So inhale. Stick out your tongue and exhale. Really kind of like think of yourself as a lion in this one. So go ahead and do a few rounds on your own. Let's do 2 more. Okay, if you felt silly, that's fine. It's all part of it. Now we're going to come into some cat and cows. So from here, go ahead and set yourself up in cat and cows. I'm going to make sure it's what we're doing. Yes, that's what we're doing next. Sorry, my brain was already skipping ahead to the next pose. So we're going to start with some simple cat-cows. You know how to do these. Don't worry about what it looks like. You can make it more fluid, whatever you want to do. So inhale, arch the lower back. Exhale and round in. Do a few rounds of that, and then we're going to add on a supported side plank with a little side body opening to release any tension that could be in the side body. Remember to breathe throughout these poses. I'm not always going to cue you, but I typically on this one, I will exhale when I'm rounding in, and I'll inhale when I'm arching my lower back. But don't get caught up on that. Just make sure you're breathing throughout the class. Come back to neutral, and then you're just going to swing that left leg out behind you and bring that right leg out long on the mat. And now you're in a supported side plank and bring that right arm up overhead. We'll go slow on this first one and open up that side body. Then you're going to return to all fours, do a round of cat-cow, and go to the other side. So now my right leg will swing out, my left leg is out behind me on the mat, long on the mat, and now I'm going to stretch my left arm up overhead. So we're going to move between that. So come on back to your cat-cow. So in between, I'll do 1 round of cat and cow and a side plank. And make this a nice fluid movement. So we're not staying in the pose long, we're moving. The idea is we want to move that energy, move whatever frustration, whatever we need to let go of. We need to the moving is going to help move some of that energy, especially if it's stagnant. So go at your own pace. You may not be right where I'm at, and that's okay. Remember, do a cat and cow in between, and then go to your side plank. Stretch your arm up overhead and come back to your cat and cow. So cat and cow in between. We're just going to do a few rounds. I want you to go at your own pace. Just move through these and just make it fluid, make it your own, however, whatever feels good for you. You can make it more flowy. You can stay longer if you need to hold the pose longer for whatever reason, go for that. I just find that if I need to shake things off, moving my body is one of the best ways to do it. We'll do 1 more round on each side. So go ahead and continue through this. 1 more round on each side, and when you're done, come on back to your all fours, neutral spine, sit back on your heels when you've completed your last one. And for a moment, close your eyes. Notice how you're feeling so far. Now we're going to come to stand. So we're going to go ahead and stand up, and now we're going to do a little bouncing and shaking. Actually, before we do bouncing and shaking, I'm getting ahead of myself, we're going to roll our wrist, our shoulders, and our neck. We're going to start with the wrist. And you have options here. So you can just do one of these parts at a time, or as we go and add on, you can do all of them together. So I'm going to start with my wrist, just rolling the wrist in circles, giving them a nice lubrication there through the joints of the wrist. You can go in an opposite direction. You can just stay in one direction, whatever you want. And then you can keep the wrist rolls if you like and add shoulder rolls, or you can drop the wrist rolls. So just the shoulder rolls, or if you want to feel and look kind of funny doing it, do a little wrist rolls while you're rolling the shoulders. It's also kind of focuses your brain a bit because you have to really think about what you're doing. So this is another great way to shake things off, is it gets your mind off of whatever you might have on your mind. And then lastly, we're going to add in some neck circles, some very gentle neck circles. Again, you can keep the wrist and the shoulder rolls while you're doing your neck, or just your neck. And this is going to be a little bit harder, of course, and you're going to look kind of funny if you do all of them, and that's okay. And it could just even be going from side to side. So I'm finding it's hard to do all 3 of them. My brain's going, huh? And that's okay. Just don't worry about what it looks like. You're really just kind of opening everything up here. And then you can release that down. And now we're going to do the bouncing. See, I'm just getting ahead of myself today. I don't know why. So now we're just going to bounce lightly here. So I'm just tapping my heels up and down on the mat. And while I'm going to do that, then I'm also going to add some shakes in here. So I'm going to shake the arms. My legs will also be getting a shake here from the bouncing. And you're just going to shake, literally shake it off. So think about whatever that intention was, that thing that you need to shake off. Think of that just dripping from your fingers and hitting the mat. So it's all just, and it's just going to dissipate into your mat. Your mat is going to magically just absorb all of it. So just shake it, and you can move from side to side if you want. You could even shake one leg, and if you don't fall over, shake the other one, or you can stay bouncing. So whatever feels good. I kind of like moving side to side, feels good. And again, we're not worrying about what this looks like. We're just doing this. And this might seem like nothing's happening to people on the outside, people looking in. Again, we don't care what they think. This is just a class for you to shake things off. So shake it off. And you can really get, if you want to do like one at a time, so you just do one arm at a time, really just shake it off. And let's do the other one. Same idea. Maybe one leg, the other leg, and then come back to stillness for a moment. Close your eyes and see what you notice. I notice a tingling sensation in my arms, a little bit my legs, but mostly my arms. You're moving that energy through your body, just those simple shaking movements. It's great to move energy. Stagnant energy can also be something that can build up and can turn into frustration or irritation or whatever. Now we're going to do some dancing warriors. So we're going to just come to the top of the mat. I'm going to walk through the three poses we're going to go through, and then you're going to move at your own pace and how it feels best. So I'm going to make mine a little bit more flowy, a little bit more dance-like. I'm not a dancer by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm going to make mine a little bit more, instead of worrying about it being all alignment. So come to mountain, and then from here you're going to step your right foot back and come into warrior one. Warrior two, excuse me. I don't know why I said warrior one. Warrior two. And your arms can do whatever here. So I'm going to make mine a little bit more flowy. I'm not going to do the traditional, everything's aligned and perfect. It's more just, you might even do some more of those shoulder rolls if you want. I know my shoulders can use some loosening up. So from here, we're going to come into reverse warrior. So you can either straighten your leg. I think I'm going to go for that. I'm going to straighten my leg and come into reverse, or you can keep that front leg bent, and then you're going to exhale into side angle. And you're going to move between those poses. So you can free flow however you want here. You could even do without touching your legs. You can just bring your arms under and over. That's going to add a challenge a little bit to it. But just go with this, just moving with your breath, flowing through these three poses. So that's all we're doing. Again, it doesn't have to look a certain way. I'm changing up as I go. So you're inhaling and exhaling. You're coming into your warrior two, reverse warrior, and then you're exhaling to side angle pose. So just moving however feels the best for you. You can straighten that front leg. You can keep it bent in your reverse. Just move at your own pace. Do another couple rounds there on your own before we go to the other side. Last round. So we're just free flowing there. We're not worrying about it looking a certain way. We're not staying in the poses either. So now we're just going to switch. I'm going to turn on my mat. You can either come back to mountain and then step your left foot back, however you want to do it. But I'm just going to turn. So now my right foot is forward and my left leg is back. So again, we're coming into that warrior two. And if you want to come into the one with your arms out, that's fine too. Whatever you want to do. I'm going to just leave my arms a little more free flowing today. So you're going to inhale with your warrior two. You're going to exhale into your reverse warrior, either straight or bent front leg. And then you're going to exhale into your side angle, making that left arm, bring that right above your head in any way. So again, it doesn't have to look a certain way. And coming back into your warrior two. And again, you could always do it with don't have your hands on your legs. So you could bring that left arm underneath, the right arm over, and then in your reverse, I'm sorry, that was your reverse. Then in your side angle, you could do the same thing and not touch your hand down. So you decide. If you want to pick it up a little bit, you can do that. And I'm just moving here in between these three poses. I'm not staying very long in any of them. Breathing and just moving with the breath here. So I want you to do some rounds on your own. And just see what kind of comes to you. Be creative with this. If you are a dancer, you may make this much more dance-like and more flowy-like. If you really like having the structure, then you could do that too. There's no right or wrong here. We're just moving the body to move energy, stagnation, frustration, irritation, you name it, whatever it is. We're moving to shake it loose, to shake it off, to let it go. Let's do one more round. And then you're going to end coming back to mountain pose. So go ahead and bring your feet back together. And now we're going to sit down and come into a supine twist. So go ahead and bring yourself down on your mat. Make yourself comfortable here. And now we're going to come into a supine twist to finish out. So just a simple wring it out and let it go again. So we're just going to hug the knees into our chest. And then any simple, you could cross your legs if you want. You could have them out straight if you want. But we're just going to drop the knees over to the right. So whatever feels best. I'm going to stretch my legs out today just to mix up my supine twist. Left arm out to the side, eyes closed, and just coming back to earth here, grounding yourself, remembering your intention. And then go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Take your legs over to the left. I'm going to straighten my legs out today just to mix it up. Right arm out to the side. Just release everything here. So again, close your eyes, let everything go into the mat. It's good to ground ourselves after a movement, after those movements that we did to shake things off, to let things go. Hug your knees into your chest. And then here I want you just to stretch your arms and your legs out long on the mat and come into your Shavasana. And we're going to stay here for a couple of minutes. So bear with me, stay with me. This is not the time to just turn the video off. This is the best part of, this is, in my opinion, one of the most important parts of the class. So we've moved our body, we used that to shake things off, maybe to shake some stagnant energy loose, and then to release that. But now we need to let the practice integrate itself into our body with this pose. So I'm going to walk you through this. You go ahead and stay there. And while you're there, I want you to notice your breath. So just go ahead and breathe naturally for a few rounds. And then I want you to start to lengthen your exhale. So that's a very calming breath to do. So when you inhale, then on your exhale, try to lengthen that exhale gradually. So while you're lying in Shavasana, notice your inhales and then lengthen out those exhales. And we're going to stay here for another minute. I'll let you know when the time is up. And you're welcome to, at any moment, if you want to go back to just your regular breathing, that's fine. Or you can continue to lengthen those exhales. It's a great way to calm and release. Calm and release. I think that was a sandhill crane off in the background. I don't know if you could hear that or not. For those that have more time, please stay in that pose. Stay there as long as you can or are able to. For the rest of you that need to get on with your day, go ahead and hug your knees into your chest. Roll over to one side. Bring yourself gently back up. And I just realized that I failed to mention where I was recording this class today. So we are actually back visiting family. So we're in southern Michigan. So that's where I am. We're making our trek south, and I've stopped at one of our family's houses right now. So that's where I am in their beautiful backyard. And over here in the distance, you can't see him, but there is definitely a sandhill crane making his presence known. Thank you for joining me for this class. I hope it was helpful. If you like these, I'll do more of these. If this is something that you guys really enjoy and helps a lot, let me know in the comments. Thanks again for joining.